Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to Draw Tip Tuesday and welcome to another sketchbook tour. I filmed another one and this one it starts in Paris. There's quite some adventures in here, big and small, in the Netherlands at home, and then it ends in Germany, where I went on vacation and filled quite a few pages as well. So I'm very excited to show you. This is a Hahnemühle Nostalgie sketchbook, and it's really pretty much one of my favorite sketchbooks. The pages are smooth and I love how my pen glides on it. I love using ink, and this sketchbook is really great for that. If you're a watercolorist, you might not like this because watercolor behaves a little bit weirdly on this paper, but I really like it. As you can see, it started in Paris, where I had a little bit of a creative retreat for a few days, meeting with my friend Cynthia Morris and also my friend Marcus. And the three of us are going to host another round of Paris Sketchbook in September. And there are some spaces left. And if you wonder what it is, it's a 1-week workshop where we have studio time and we will draw on location. And it's really meant to deepen your creativity on a wonderful level. You will learn from 3 teachers, me, Cynthia, and Marcus. And it will be a blast because we always have so much fun. And the groups are always really, really great. So if you want to be part of that, I will put the link in the description below. When I'm in Paris, I love sitting down with a coffee and drawing. And here's a little workshop-y thing that we did in the morning with 2 friends. I experimented a little bit with some collage. This one may be familiar because I made a Draw Tip Tuesday out of this one. And I can share the link to that video so you can watch it next. Drawing on the train back, and then I'm back in my own town again with orange flags because it had been King's Day while I was away. And drawing the mundane. It was busy. I was busy and I was sitting a lot at my desk. So, well, I drew my view. This one also I filmed for a Draw Tip Tuesday video. And I just love drawing people when I'm on the go. Here's a spread that I filled during my mini workshop. It was a great group of people again gathered on Zoom, and I came up with the snippets approach, and we all did such fun pages. It's amazing how much you can do in 90 minutes because it's a 90-minute session. We draw for an hour usually, and then there's a show and tell for those who want to show their pages. It's really fun. If you have ever joined, you know how fun it is. It's suitable for beginners and the more advanced, and I would love you to join. I will put a link in the description of this video. Drawing with friends. This might be one of my favorites in this sketchbook, although there's more coming up. I just really love the energy and sort of the simplicity in this one. Experimenting with colors, practicing with hatching, more color experimentation. And here we go on the road to Germany. Of course, there was relaxing and we had a beautiful view. I thought this was a little bit tedious when I was doing it. I started with a pen that I didn't really like, and then I kept going, and I was like, oh, is this the right approach? I just wasn't sure. But then I just kept going, and I kept layering once I added color. And I think it turned out okay. Maybe it's a little bit overworked. And then I thought, should I have approached this differently? So I did. I did another one, completely different. I started with watercolor first, and then minimal line on top, and then lots of layering with colored pencils. It feels a little bit lighter. It was a lot quicker too. And it's not like one is better than the other. I just really love seeing the difference of what you can do if you change up your approach. On a terrace in Appenau in Germany, I started with line and then did a light yellow wash. I left these out for depth, and then I started to layer a little bit more to give it some more depth and some more differences in the colors, because I just used yellow and orange and it felt a little bit bland, so a little bit of texture made that disappear. This was during a hike using crayons. And another part of our view from our vacation place. This was on the market, the weekly market in town, and trying to capture an overwhelming view on a hike with just one pencil. I kind of like how it turned out. This might be my favorite of this sketchbook because of the moment it captured. We were sitting at a cafe, and that was also an ice cream shop, and suddenly there was a big line of kids, school kids, that were also excited to get ice cream. And people would just gather on the square across from the shop to enjoy their ice cream. And as soon as I started drawing, this man sat down with his ice cream cone, and he looked so happy and joyful. The joy that ice cream brings to people is just amazing. I did the line first, then I added a wash of this orangey, creamy kind of orange wash, and I did a few layers of it, and then I wanted to add another color, but I didn't really dare. I was so afraid I would mess up. But in the end I did, and I tried in the back, I tried a few colors. And I thought maybe blue could work because it's like a complementary color. But then I picked this green, a green that I don't use often, that I recently added to my color palette. And it made me kind of happy. There was some feeling of joy, and I thought, this is actually very ice creamy. So I added that color, and I'm so glad I did, because it brings so much more joy and so much more of the vibe and that pistachio minty ice cream color. It brings it to life. Experimenting with mixed media and pretzels. Of course, in Germany, you gotta eat pretzels. And I bought a pretzel and drew it from all sides because I love doing that. It was strawberry season, and you won't believe how sweet and wonderful these strawberries were. It was amazing. So I had to draw them. This one also done on a hike. I forgot half of my tools, but I made it work, and I really like how it worked out. It really captures the vibe of that place where we were sitting to have a break and a little sketch. Here's a pretzel again. I ate it. This is the last page and also the last day of our vacation. And here you can see my husband watering the garden. We offered to do that to the host because he had been working very hard and long on a very hot day that day. So he could go and cool off, and we would do that in the evening. Such a fun little memory. And that is it. Of course, I hope that this inspires you for your own sketchbook. I hope you like these flip throughs. I love seeing other people's sketches. That's why I love the show and tell parts in my mini workshops as well. So please join the next one. It's really, really fun, and I have linked it below in the description. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I will see you next week. Bye.